All right, welcome back, guys, to my channel. This is the Bus Police podcast, and I'm your boy Ariasi. Now, of course, for those of you that are like, that's not your real name. Well, I guess that's what you're gonna call me. Yes, Mr. Know It All. That's the name you're gonna call me. So, welcome to the show, and I just want to thank you guys for supporting. For those of you that didn't leave, thank you very much. Some of you know me, know the face already. Some of you don't, because I used to do most of my content without a face. And yeah, I left for a while. Partly because it was my own choice, and partly because of I was kicked out of the YouTube partnership program. Okay, so you guys know that last year YouTube kind of changed their rules and regulations and stuff and everything, and it kind of affected a lot of people. And they also kind of infused their programs with a lot of AI. By the way, I have another video talking about how AI gets a lot of things wrong, and sometimes you're correcting it, and if you don't know already, just take whatever information or whatever they give you, it might go wrong. And so that's why I feel like some of those companies relying totally on AI is very bad, because AI can only access information that is out there. Any information that has been put behind a paywall, they will not be able to access it. So they would not be able to give you accurate information that is needed. Now, that's just by the way. So coming into this period, I was demonetized. They kicked me out of the YouTube partnership program. And when they do that, you have to stay away for like 3 months. Now, it was coinciding with several things that I had to do. I traveled and all that. So I just like, okay, let me just leave it. And then I tried to get back and do it again, and try to go back in, and they did not even let me back in. They just gave me another 3 months. So I was like off for like 6 months. I was like, what am I going to do now? I couldn't earn any money. I was also busy doing other stuff, and it was just like, okay, what next? Now, I then decided that, okay, the best thing I was going to do was to rebrand. One of the first things that I thought to myself, like, okay, in fact, not one of my videos, several of my videos had this tag of, they tagged most of my videos, a lot of my videos, and be like, okay, reuse content and stuff. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, but this was allowed. You allowed me to use this stuff, and I've made some money with it. Now, all of a sudden, it's like I can't use it anymore. That's just courtesy of the drastic change in rules and regulations. And rather than them allowing me to actually demonetize those videos so that the rest that are not would go. In fact, the funny thing is that they don't even give you a clue of what is applicable and what isn't. They don't tell you particular videos. So, I had these videos that were like doing so well, 300K, 200K and stuff like that. So when all these things started getting out of hand, I just had to like delete everything and rebrand. And I said, okay, I have to do a podcast. With a podcast, I don't have to bring any video from anywhere. I don't intend to do it. I don't care how it's going to look like. It might be boring to you, but to me, it's the best thing I could do so far legally, because now everybody is trying to like own their stuff, and you go and take somebody's stuff and you're talking about it and referencing it, and you just have 1 second or 2 seconds of that video, and somebody's going to be laying copyright claim all over your like 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour video, and it's just a little bit crazy out here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be doing my own podcast and just doing my own stuff, right? So the thing I want to talk about is the situation of DDG and Halle. And God knows, you guys, you don't even understand. I have been trying to not talk about the situation. I've been trying to skip it. I've done several videos about it, and I've deleted it, like long videos where I'm ranting and saying a whole bunch of bullshit. And I've decided I'm going to speak on it today. The reason why I'm speaking on it today is because I saw a video that was posted by a page like Academics TV, which I believe is owned by, you guys know, DJ Academics, right? The one that looks like a chipmunk, right? So he's been posting about this situation for a while. And now I don't know if it's for clout, but I can't even say, because one thing with him is he is the kind of person that usually sticks to, when there's a situation, he kind of has his friends and stuff, and he sticks with them irrespective of whatever. I mean, you can call him loyal for whatever, but I feel like sometimes if your friends are wrong, tell them they are wrong. If your friends are right, then you can come out and like defend them, and nobody's going to be on your neck. But he always has this stuff, and then even not just with um even not just with his friends, like most times when there's an issue, he always wants to stick with the men. And sometimes you look at it like, okay, we want to stick with the men, or are we going to stick with what is right? Right? So one thing is, I do not respect those of you that feel the need to always want to either stick by a man or want to stick by a woman just because of this issue is a woman that is in the issue. Women want to rally behind her. You want to stand by women and say, oh, women, no matter what. I don't respect you. Y'all are so, in fact, let me not go. I've been trying to hold on and not say what I want to say. So I'm gonna try my best to be respectful. I do not respect you. Those of you that would, you see the man, no matter what the man does is wrong, you know that, but you're still gonna want to stand by them. I don't respect you. Either ways, I know you're gonna be like, oh, your respect is not needed. So I mean, it goes both ways. This situation that they've had is spiraling into something else. And I think they had their last court case last week, and they will still have more cases. I think they've come to a conclusion so far for now. I think Halle has a restraining order on her against DDG, and DDG also has a temporary restraining order. So I don't know. They're not supposed to be around each other. I don't know how the baby is going to handle it. Although the baby is in the mother's care, like in the mother's custody. Now, for those of you that don't know what's going on, I'm talking about the fight between Halle and DDG. So it came out like I think last month or early this month. It was last month about whether the case of domestic abuse or cheating or whatever happening between Halle Bailey and DDG concerning custody and restraining orders against each other. It kind of blew up after Halle filed a restraining order against DDG, and that was where everything escalated. Right now, you have people like the academics that is like putting fire to it. So I saw a video. He took a video from I've forgotten the show, the festival. She and Chloe, because she's in a group. She and Halle. And by the way, Halle Bailey I'm talking about is the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey. So he took a video from when she was performing with Chloe, and they were singing a song, and the song they were about to sing is Forgive Me and Tipsy. These are two songs from their album called Ungodly Hour. Now, anybody that has listened to that album, you know that it's a dark album. It's a very beautiful dark album. It has dark themes and stuff on it. So they talk about being the other woman. They talk about murder after breakup. They talked about so many things. You understand me? They talked about so many things in the song. They talked about having fun. They talked about several things. It was like a whole full body of work, and honestly, it was one of my best albums during the pandemic 2020. So that was very incredible body of work. Now they were performing it, and you know how they would ginger the crowd. For those of you that there's a popular clip, or should I say a video that went viral of Chloe was like, say fucking louder. That's He went on there and he took this video from 2022 of her performing with Chloe, like as Chloe and Halle, right? This was like during the press before the Little Mermaid came out and stuff. So they went on, he's like picking that video. Now, you guys, if you've seen, there's a popular video that goes viral between that about Chloe when Chloe was like, sing it fucking louder. That video is the video that he took from years ago. And now he's talking about she's telling her fans to kill DDG. And I'm like, when would you people learn to stop? Like, just take words as they are and don't add your own, because some of you are not reliable. Some of you are not okay in the head. How are you going to go and take that video back there and you are trying to turn it into something else? This is literally what the song is. The song, Forgive Me. they talk about burying. Okay, they talk about burying someone that, a lover that has committed an offense. I remember when this whole situation happened, the text leaked. I saw the text that leaked, and then I tweeted and I was like, Halle, you don't need to convince me. I didn't need you to convince me, because when I listened to that song, I knew it was you. I know you were the one that wrote that. It wasn't Chloe. It was you that wrote that in the song. So you didn't need to convince me, because on the song they talked about, you know, putting the ex-lover in the ground and then calling his family members and like telling them, hey, your boy is in the ground and stuff like that. So I didn't doubt her 1 second. She's that kind of person. Like, a lot of people like to like give Chloe hell. A lot of people like to like act like Chloe is like the fiery one, but Halle is the fiery one if you've known them for a very long time. And this is pissing me off, because honestly, I have been very fair with this analogy. I think a lot of people have been, but I think I've seen this narrative come, and I think those from DDG's team, those from DDG's, or those that support DDG, are now like kind of doing a counter attack. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe they have like, war flashbacks, because I don't know, for them, they think it's a, Megan Thee Stallion versus Tory. By the way, if he was innocent, he would not be in jail right now. But either ways, I'm going to allow the court, he's going to appeal, so let that happen and everything. And he's one of the person I like, anybody knew that Love was my stuff. Everybody knew that I loved that song. And I knew him before Megan came on the scene. But he is a pathological liar. Yeah, Tory. So let's not go there and try to bring up this stuff. I mean, Megan lies too, but he's a pathological liar. He has been caught several times being very aggressive and abusive to many people. So there's no way I'm not going to believe. Like, I saw footage of she limping when the helicopter came in, and she was limping, and people said, oh, it was glass. Well, they took out fragments of bullets from the leg, so definitely somebody shot her. If he was at the back, Megan said she didn't see, but she saw the gun with him. Right? So obviously he's the one that shot. Now, if he is not the one that shot, I mean, then they can, him between Kelsey, they could prove whatever they want to prove at the end of the day. And honestly, I feel like it's just a lie, because there is no way Tory Lanes is going to take a fall for Kelsey anywhere or whatever in the name of trying to be a snitch. Like, this is a guy that actually punched August Asina in the club, and August Asina came out like, oh, Tory Lanes punched me, and he lied and said, oh, I didn't do that man anything, and then there was video evidence of him punching the man. So there is no way he would want to go. And by the way, he's a Canadian, so him risking his citizenship or residency and whatever that he has, green card or whatever he has, just to not be a snitch, I doubt that. The way he fights, with the manipulation he was doing, with the way he took his child to court, definitely not. If he wasn't the one that shot, then he wouldn't, like, definitely. He wouldn't have done that. So I don't believe you people go around and do all the things. It's just clear. Tory is guilty. And you guys are bringing up this whole situation to attack this woman, thinking it's the same situation. You are trying to do war flashback. So you guys have pressed play on like great PRO. You want to like ruin her reputation, talk about she's a psycho. You guys have started to kick it into gear. And I don't blame you guys, because honestly, I feel like, yeah, he needs to defend himself at the end of the day, because, sometimes men get accused wrongly. So obviously he's doing that, but I can see it. Okay. I don't want you guys to try to deny that you're not doing what you're doing, because it's now becoming very clear. And every information that we're having again about all the stuff happening has been coming out from DDG and his team, our his supporters. They're the ones we're getting every information directly from them. Like, and most of the takes and all the takes has always are coming out from his team. So every single thing you guys are painting the narrative or whatever it is right now, that's on you. So first of all, you guys don't know. Let me just go back to how me and Halle, we go back to Let It Shine, right? I've been a fan. I've seen them. No, I wasn't a fan then. I just knew them, and then they were like singing on YouTube and doing all this stuff, and then they got signed by Beyonce, and you guys know that I do love Beyonce, so I know things around her that's happening. So I kind of like, oh, the girls, and they're very talented. But I know since there's Let It Shine, I sing Chloe in the Pebbles. I used to have that on my laptop, not this laptop, my old laptop, and so I've known them for years. And honestly, I didn't care about their private life because I was also growing up, but they look like kids to me. It's so they're like we're at the same age, but me watching them on TV, they're like kids to me. You understand me? Like so, I was like kids. You know how they act in these movies, and sometimes they're already grown up, and then you are seeing the movies when they are like young and stuff like that. And Chloe was like younger Beyonce in Fighting Temptations. If you guys know Fighting Temptations, so this was how I knew them. Now DDG, I didn't know. DDG, I didn't know him, but he seems to be doing well for himself. He's a streamer, he's a YouTuber, he has like music out, he's gone platinum and double platinum. So he's really doing well for himself. So I didn't know anything about him. I think first of all, what was so big was when she was announced as the Little Mermaid, and then there was like all these racist attacks on her and all those stuff. And she felt it in a way, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing this relationship coming from this angle, and I'm like, who is this person? And then I kind of like did my relative research. I'm going to do my relative research because that's what I need to do. Is like, you need to know what's going on, know your environment. So I kind of like had to do my little research to know the boy and everything. And all of a sudden people were like attacking him and saying stuff, he's not on a level, and he's ugly and so like. And I'm like, first of all, at that point in time, yes, she's signed to Beyonce, but that's just it. They like, of course, they have bodies of work that I do love. I love their work on Grownish. You guys know Grownish. If you know Grownish, it's like the what I call it, the should I call is it a sequel or a breakout from Blackish? If you know Blackish, then you know Grownish. They're like in the same universe and stuff like that. So they act like twins in that movie, in that series, sorry. So that's where a lot of people kind of thought when they came out, they started thinking, oh, they were like twins, oh, the twins, but they were not twins. Chloe is the elder sister, and then Halle is the younger one. So they, so I didn't know this man, okay? I didn't know him, but I learned about him, and the people kept on just trying to dog on his name. And for me, at that point in time, I was also into like the live and everything, and I was on YouTube. I was streaming live on Bigo. I was doing a lot of stuff, on the internet. And I cannot, from my own perspective, look down on him in whatever position he is. But I looked at it, and Halle wasn't that big of a star for you guys to start acting like this guy is just below. For all we know, he could be making more money than she was. Or at least he was, making good money like she was. So you guys, and definitely he definitely wasn't ugly. So you guys tried to say, oh, he was ugly. I don't know. I need to look at your faces, because for you to like look at him and be like, oh, this is so ugly. I don't know of anything he has done prior. He's a YouTuber. So of course, sometimes we play things forward. Sometimes we exaggerate some things for clicks and for views, do anything for clout. And I've seen him do a lot of things for clout, like even carrying his child. I definitely knew it was a little bit, but I know there's love there. But he can be manipulative. You can manipulate the scene for that cash and stuff like that. So I don't know. He probably must have done. He probably must have done some things on the internet that some people know about and don't like. But if you didn't know, and it was just the fact that he was a YouTuber, then I feel like you have an issue, But people started going for it, and I didn't mind about it. And my own is that if I say, okay, this person wants this person, this person wants this person, and both of them are not like criminals or something toxic to themselves, like I'm off of it. Like, what's my business? Love is love. And so they went on, did their own thing, went on to do their stuff, showed up for multiple red carpets and stuff. When I started to notice a crack was when she started doing press tours with her co-star, the co-star for The Little Mermaid. And then, people started to like match both of them. People started writing fan fiction about both of them. People started to fantasize that she ends up with, should leave DDD and end up with this guy and stuff like that. And then I kind of saw Didi panic. and he gave up a jealous fit on one of his lives. I'm not on his live, but I usually see it come up on my timeline. And I saw the stuff and I was like, oh, this boy is jealous. But either ways, I understand him in that way. But at the end of the day, you know what you signed up for. She's a star. She's going to make movies. She's going to act with other people. She's going to be with other people. You have to act at this point, know what you're getting yourself into, right? So he strode that jealous feet, and everybody was like, "Oh, I told you this boy wants to stain her white. He wants to do all this stuff." Now, if you're in Nigeria, you know what I mean by like you want to stain her white. But if you do not know, I'm talking about like ruin her reputation or something like that. So he like, oh, like you want to ruin, you want to stain her white, you want to do all this stuff. People were just talking and talking and talking and talking. And honestly, I understand him fighting back right now because even before they had an issue, there were a lot of people that were like didn't want him for her. There were a lot of people that were always like trying to stand against, and at some point someone's gonna like answer, have a word when they come in, and it's like they are always being talked down about the whole situation. And I hardly see from his own side people talk down on her. I hardly see it. I think the only thing most times, I don't know if it's from that scene, from his own angle, but most times the people that will talk about her, they talk about how, how would I call it, how far wide apart her eyes are. Her eyes are a little bit wide apart. That's the only thing they talk about. But she's a pretty girl, and he is a handsome man. So there's nothing you guys can come and talk about both of them. So when I saw, I was like, oh, no, what's nonsense? Please, they are matched. They are. I mean, they are perfect match. Like you look at them, they are both short. Okay, that is a match made in heaven. Let the short people marry the short people. Let the tall people marry the tall people, please. I am 6'2", and I need at least a 6 foot wife so that my kids will be giants. All right. I don't mind. I don't mind. It could be maybe, but not too short. 5'10", 5'11". That would be good. Let the short people marry the short people. So I was like, yeah, perfect man. Okay, go do your thing. And then these people, they were just going and going. And sometimes I feel pity for him, because I see that on this end. So they were always going at him. So they cannot act like they didn't villainize him even before he did something. And then moving forward, everything was okay. I think I went through that part and everything. And then all of a sudden, I think I was on the plane. I was watching The Color Purple on the plane. And then I heard that she was pregnant. I was surprised. I was like, what did they happen? What did they happen for yet? You get me? I was so surprised. I was like, she's pregnant while she is going to do these movies. You're a Disney princess, for God's sake. And I'm very sure that movie was very successful. The mermaid. The Little Mermaid, sorry, I don't know why I call it. The show was successful, The Little Mermaid. And then you also have The Color Purple, which is also successful. She was having clout from this side, and you just go and ruin it with pregnancy, public pregnancy. Like even Brandy, that was like popping and doing all the stuff. When she got pregnant, she had to hide it because you know what it does. People are going to talk about it, and you're going to lose most of your contracts because people are going to see you as promiscuous, especially when you're having a child out of wedlock. And so in my head, I just thought to her, I was like, this boy has gone to mark her because that's what men do. That's what a lot of people do. When they see that, oh, this person is going viral, oh, this person is going to get out of my hands, it's like, okay, let me go and mark her. Because let me tell you something. One thing women don't know is that if you date 10 men and you are a single mother, the possibility that once those men find out that you're a single mother, of them still being with you is very low, like almost zero. And most of these men know. So they might love you or they might not love you. Some men that love you will do that to tie you down and you be with them forever, while some will do it just to stop you. Some people, they don't even love you like that, but they just don't want other people looking at the woman that they're looking at that point. So it's just a jealousy thing. And in my mind, I was like, this boy has gone to mark her. And she's just, willingly going along on the ride. And would you blame her? I guess, when love most times comes around, most times they don't know what they're doing. Everybody does not know what they're doing. Once love comes in, they just jump on it. So, I didn't have anything to say. I know nothing much. I just left it at that. And I was a little bit pissed off because I felt like she was ruining a little bit of her career. And I was a little bit angry at him for doing that at this point in time. I felt like he did it, it was intentional. Like you can use condoms. But either ways, I left it at that. It's not my business and everything. And then she delivered. And all of a sudden, I heard that they are breaking up. I was like, all this for what? You are breaking up because of what? I really was just pissed off with both of them. I didn't care about listening or finding out what happened. I don't know whether anybody cheated. I don't know if anybody said anything or anybody did anything. I didn't care about that. Now, all of a sudden, this year, I am hit and I am forced to now come in and find out what is going on. When Halle rushed to the court to request for a restraining order, I'm like, what is going on? Somebody give me the gist. What is happening? Where did from year to year? I thought they'd broken up and they are living like they've been co-parenting for months. I've been seeing them. She come around his family. He goes around like they've been co-parenting. What's the issue now? And then I found out that they had a quarrel, and while they were having a quarrel, he hit her head on the steering. And I'm like, now, let me tell you, I don't see him as that kind of person. I don't see him as that kind of person that like is violent or will beat up a woman in a way. I don't want to give excuses, but I feel like I don't know until real information comes out. I feel like it's a case of he like they were struggling and maybe he pushed her or something and she hit her head, because that could be because I've seen a lot of people, they've been waiting to villainize him and, they are jumping and being like, hey, he did that and, you hit this girl, you did that, domestic violence, they've been trying to shout domestic violence. We know how women can go because if we really want to talk about domestic violence, a lot of women are going to be in prison. But sometimes when you hear a situation about a man and a woman having this issue, most times they don't want to give grace for the man. And of course, I understand because a lot of men have done that to women and everything, but we gotta forget that a lot of women are perpetrators. When it comes to domestic violence, when they know that the man will not fight back, they will go there hitting him, slapping him and stuff like that. And then when he gets angry and like maybe push them or something and they fall, it's like, oh, you're a domestic abuser. This is the same thing that they did with Jonathan Mills, right? I'm sorry that I do digress a lot, but that's the same thing they did with Jonathan Mills. When they did the same thing with Jonathan Mills, the girl came out, the white girl, and they said, he did this to her, his career is over, Disney, everybody was like firing him, Marvel, everybody kicked him out, like we're supposed to have Kang right now to be the big bad in the MCU, and we can't even have that because of all these situations. And they just dropped him and they did all forms of bullshit to that man, only for us to realize that, hey, okay, he cheated. Oh, I understand why she's going crazy right now. He cheated, and then she was trying to stop him, and they had a little squabble, and like he kind of pushed her to get away from her, and he was running, and she kind of like hit her head in the bus, and then they were like having a squabble, so her fingers tore into him, his fingers kind of injured her. I mean, things like that. And then they went to court and they were like bringing evidence that his fingers were on her and stuff like that from the DNA test. And I'm like, I mean, of course, that would have happened, but a lot of people did not wait for evidence. They just started jumping on him. Hey, he did this, he did that, and all that. And, and then all of a sudden we saw the video. We were seeing the video, and it showed that it wasn't really intentional. It was a struggle, and that was how it happened. So I want to actually see the video. I believe, Halle, in your house, you're supposed to have cameras outside. You're a celebrity. And if there's no video, I want to know the context of it. I was a little bit surprised that because when I was going through everything, they said to get a restraining order in California is easy. It's hard to get it in California, and a lot of people were like bragging and saying that she wasn't going to get it, that it's not that easy. And then she got it, and then they kind of switched and said, I don't know, it's not the same people, but they kind of started switching. The narrative was like, oh, it's very easy to get it. So I was like, who is right? Is it right? Is it easy or not? And some people were like, oh, that boy not do anything, they want to put this thing on his head. And I don't know why every time something comes up, it's like, oh, they want to put this thing. Like, you guys have to realize that these people are adults. 25 and above, they are adults. They do things on themselves. Not everybody is looking for a way to put everybody in jail. Like, if that was the case, there would be a lot of people in jail right now. and you guys are walking free despite all the gang things and gang activities that you guys have been doing. So you're out there. So I'm tired of this narrative. Whenever somebody is being caught for something they've been doing, or being accused of something, it's like, oh, they're trying to put this person down. Of course, there are situations like that, but it's not all the situations. We should be able to discern what is real and what is not. So when you jump on that, the same shenanigans every single time every situation happens, you start to look like a clown. And this is what you guys look like. You're a clown. You guys are a circus of clowns. Okay, so they went there. I want to really know, did he really just take her head and like boom on it, or it was like, let me go, and it, like you guys have seen, women would drag you, they would come hold you down and do all this stuff, and it's like, okay, let me go, and she hit her head. I want to know that. I don't want to give him too much excuses because I feel like I'm already giving him excuses, but I want to actually get down to the root of it and see where that stuff comes in. So I don't want to give no big judgment on it, because that could be the case. If he actually did it, then we have a problem. But if he didn't do it, of course, then would have been right to like give him a benefit of a doubt. Unlike some of you that just like to jump on whatever bandwagon you guys like and be angry just because of your baby daddy or whoever had done that to you, doesn't mean that everybody else is out there doing that. He doesn't give me that vibe. Okay, that's what I can say. He doesn't give me that vibe. Now we go forward and all those things. He get the restraining order, and he just came online, and I saw the video where he kind of acted like he didn't know that they were about to sue him, and he read the message, and then you had Adam Ross over there just going off on Halle, talking bullshit. Like, I'm like, you guys are, I'm very sure, very close to 30, and you guys won't act like your age. I know you guys are dwelling on sensationalizing every single thing. I know you guys are dwelling on like making, views and, doing anything that can make you viral and get you more money and stuff like that. But at this point, you've had a lot of money. At some point, you have to be smart, because you just jumping on that stuff, you are not making the case better for him if he's in a ongoing lawsuit. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why he would go and the Ross would go there and be making those statements. But what was funny to me was like DDG acting surprised, like, oh, I'm just saying this stuff now. I'm just saying it, like, bro, we could tell that you were acting. Like, stop. You're not that good of an actor. Leave the acting for Halle. So we knew that you knew. Don't act like you don't know. We know that. But he's going to act it up for the cameras, and then his brother goes to fight, and I'm hearing that they are using it against him, that the environment and stuff. But let's be honest, like, nobody can tell me that this man does not care for that child. He loves that child. And even if, first of all, I don't see any issue with it. And honestly, I don't want it to look like I'm defending him or whatever, because I'm trying to call out everybody for what they've done. But even if it looks like, okay, he's going to use the child for clout to get more views, to get more things, that's his baby. A lot of people do it. I've seen a lot of celebrities, a lot of even non-celebrities would open Instagram page for a baby that is like 1 month old, and they'll be posting, baby loves mommy and daddy. Baby say cheese. Who love mommy? My mommy. Like, they've been doing that. You guys don't talk anything. You don't say anything about it. So, the man wants to show, like, this is his work. You might look at it like it's not real work, but that's his job. That's what he does. And he takes his baby and comes. The only concern I have is baby's eyes. With babies, introducing them to the TV and everything, at that early, it's kind of a problem for them medically, and then always being in front of it. Like, it could be the distance, but they're always in front, with the cameras and everything and all that. And I feel like that's a little bit of a problem that's there. And then again, when they talk about the environment, you get everybody coming around. Like, you have from the good, the bad, the ugly, coming over at your place, doing all this stuff with you. And you guys do it because of you need to trend and do all the stuff, and you are a YouTuber, right? And you need it for the trends, but you're an adult, so you can actually delve and do whatever and mix with whoever you want to mix. But the child cannot choose, so you have to protect the child. Sometimes you guys are like smoking and doing all this stuff in there, doing all forms of activities, carrying girls and all this stuff that you guys just do a lot in those spaces. So it would be nice if you want to be with the child, like keep them on the side. I heard that there was an issue when they were talking about not wanting the child to be around the environment. I mean, you could come to a conclusion and be like, you know what, the child's going to be with me, but I'm not going to put them on TV anymore. Once in a while, I would do that. So you agree on the terms, and that way, I'm very sure the mom will compromise. Rather than having him on the TV all the time. I think that would have been a very good compromise initially. But I guess a lot of times our egos get in the way, and we're just trying to fight and grab and try to get to win at everything. Like sometimes it's a compromise. You want to go do some things. So I saw the leaks, I saw the text, and the first text that leaked was talking about, oh, so you went to Mexico and you effed with Lala, right? And I want to kill myself. She was just being very suicidal. And that was crazy, Halle. And the thing that even got me were the spellings. Like, damn, something. I know they were homeschooled. I know that they school them at home, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about those spellings because I know sometimes when you are like with people that you care about, people that you are comfortable with, you don't care about it, but you just type whatever you want to type. But those spellings, there. But one thing that it kind of exposed on there, and this is directed to DDG, it showed that you didn't really care anymore. You were not concerned for her well-being. You were not concerned for the child in that period of time because all you could say is like, why are you doing this? Man, you could have easily said, hey, where are you right now? I'm coming over. Don't do anything. You call her family. I'm going to call your sister. I'm going to call your mom. I'm going to call your brother. I'm going to call anybody to get you in order. Hey, don't do anything. That didn't happen. You could have at least denied or whatever the case may be. You could have done it and you would have replied her and said, please, I'm coming over. Don't do anything. Like you could have shown that you cared. But you didn't. You just gave this code message like, why are you doing this? And that's it. And you want to go to court and try to get your custody of the child. It's not going to work because in that text it didn't show. And now we're hearing that she was postpartum. So if she was postpartum and you are like didn't show any concern for her, the people are going to like, that's how it looks like. You look lame in that situation, and that's just what it is. So that's how it gave in that situation. Of course, she was suicidal, which I feel like I don't know. Maybe I don't know your perspective. Maybe you're looking at it and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, she must have done it before. This is not. I'm not going to fall for this stuff." Maybe I don't know what goes through your head. I'm not trying to make excuses. Trust me, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I'm just trying to be fair right now. And so you just felt like, okay, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to engage with this. Maybe she's playing and stuff like that. And then later on, I'm even seeing that he was like going to report in the court when he tried to do his own, lawsuit, restraining order against her. He said she drove angry, talking about she was going to kill herself, and she took the child in the car. And I'm like, all this stuff you would have indicated in the text right there. And so that text coming out, it didn't. I mean, none of you are saints. Like none of you are innocent in this situation. So the text showed that she was suicidal, manic in that situation, and it showed you didn't care. That's what it showed in that text. Okay, that's what it showed. Then after that text, another one leaked, right, where they went in long details and everything, and he then talked about how is he expected to like sit down there and allow her to watch her to kiss, other people on TV and stuff. And I was like, my mind went back to the video I saw when he was throwing a tantrum, and I was like, oh man, that's the issue. So it's more like, okay, you saw her kissing co-stars on film and you felt some type of way, and then you decide to cheat, or what's happening? It's not the same thing, man. So I don't know what to say. If you are marrying an actor, please don't marry an actor if you cannot take them kissing somebody else on TV. There can be restrictions, but if you cannot see them kissing somebody on TV, then do not marry an actress, please. Do not even be with an actress. Like, let's just leave those things for those people, you know. And then I saw him like after that, you know. And by the way, I just wanted to say this stuff. Yes, you guys, she was postpartum, but you know, postpartum doesn't give you the right to harm people. Postpartum doesn't give you the right to threaten people. Whatever you're going through, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know. I've never felt it, but keep it in check. Because one thing I noticed is that women always use one of excuses to do whatever they like. You know, it's either the menstrual cycle or the pregnancy cravings, or now it's the postpartum or whatever, and they would use it and as an opportunity to harm their significant other, and then they want automatic forgiveness while they are done fooling themselves. You forget, like, okay, just imagine she stabbed him with that knife. Maybe he came around and she was like, postpartum, postpartum, and she stabbed him with that knife. Guess what's going to happen? If he doesn't die from it, he's going to have a long injury on it. And that man is going to see that injury every day and remember that you are the one that gave it to him. And then you're going to come and tell him, like, oh, you didn't die, just, you know, get off it. It was just postpartum. That's how you guys sound. And I saw one talking about, oh, I don't want to have a conversation with anybody about postpartum and everything. You don't feel it. I'm like, you are harming people while you are having postpartum. And for somehow you want to gaslight those people to just act like you didn't do the thing. Whether you were having postpartum, whatever you're going through your mind, you harmed somebody. Hurt people hurt people. So when somebody's going through, every person that has gone, there are people that will go through hell and they will be like, I want everybody to go through hell with me. And they are punishing people that did not do anything to them. They are doing transfer aggression. It has always been a thing. It does not exempt you, postpartum or not. You are there harming people and you want to talk about postpartum. Now that I've said that, now that is out of the way, let me just go back to what I want to say. So he said, oh, you don't want to kiss with stuff. And I'm like, don't marry an actress. Don't marry an actress if you know you cannot take what they are giving. No, choose your vices and leave the rest. That's my advice. If you cannot take it, then leave it. If you cannot watch your husband starring with multiple women, then leave. If you cannot watch your wife starring with multiple men, then leave. You don't need to be there. And don't try to dim their light, because there's a reason why they came to the limelight. So, and now you have DDG at the Streamers Academy, and he's frolicking around with India Love. And then I saw a video of him, they were twerking on him and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is what they will use as evidence, the kind of environment you keep, you know. And I just thought to myself, like, in that situation, now they're twerking on him and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know how it started. I don't know, maybe it happened before, but it was giving me the vibes of Montoya, por favor. You guys remember when Montoya came into the Temptation Island, like the villa, right? And then they were twerking on him, and then his girlfriend saw it, and then she decided that she was going to cheat on him in the Temptation house with the guys that they brought to tempt them, and she was having sex on TV, and then he had one of the biggest crash out of the year. That's what the vibe I was getting. Like, I know you do those things and you want to have fun and stuff. I don't know the concept because you guys are going through whatever you're going through. But that's my own advice. At the end of the day, I just want to say, Halle, I do believe those texts are real. I believe what she's going through. And nobody should give you no excuse for no postpartum, because it doesn't make sense in any way. But you showed yourself, and the way you have been handling it, the way your friends have been handling it, the way they've been coming out to bash her. I haven't seen them bash her. Of course, they went on and there was like evidence and all that, and they took it straight to court. I haven't seen them bashing you publicly. I don't know, apart from the fans that are doing it, they are doing it, you guys are doing it on both sides. But you guys have to calm down and think about what is best for the child, because when you fight, it's the child that suffers. At the end of the day, the mom is going to be okay. The father is going to be okay. The child won't be okay. The mom is established, the father is established, the child, he don't care about that. He's not going to care about that. What he's going to care about is like, where's my mom, where's my dad? And you guys now in two different places. Okay, he understands that. Why are you guys hate each other? Why are you guys fighting? You guys have to get it together and do this co-parenting. It was going fine. I don't know what's going wrong, what you guys are looking for and everything. Please fix your stuff together. Like, I even saw the other text when she was like asking him about like to come take the child and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, there was also the text that leaked where she was like, why don't you want to help me? Why don't you, like, it just didn't paint a good picture of you. And then the next thing I see you talking about, happy Father's Day to all the active fathers. And then you're always shouting, oh, well, you don't want me to see my child. And then in a text where she's asking you to come and take the child, you don't even want to come and take the child. So what is all this stuff for? What is all this politics, all this stuff you people are playing? Take this bullshit out of the internet and go fix your home. Go fix your stuff. I know you guys are not, doing anything together right now. I don't know what's happening. I know most of these exes, they be coming back and doing their stuff behind the scenes. But please focus on that child. Check whatever this child is going to be needing and check what the child is going to need. And you guys come together to make it work. That's what you owe that child. Halo is a beautiful child. It's going to grow up to be a very, very handsome man. If you guys, look at the father, look at the mother. So he's going to be doing well. You guys have to get it together for him to get it right. That's all I'm asking for you guys. That I'm not trying to come and push anything. I just feel like your friends, academics, and all of them, they're doing too much, and it's getting out of hand. And this is how they start. This is the same thing that happened with Tory. Megan lied for him initially because it was like, okay, let's leave it at that. And then he kept on poking, his friends kept on poking and stuff. And the girl was like, okay, now I'm the enemy. All right, let's talk about the truth. And now he's in jail and you guys are angry. You guys have started the same, tactics. Rather than you guys allowing them to go solve their situations, you guys are already trying to bring up unnecessary, stuff against DDG, unnecessary stuff against Halle, and talking about, you're bringing videos all the way from years ago that had nothing to do with the situation, and you're bringing it and trying to like create a narrative. And I'm seeing that the video is already doing well, going viral, of course. And then you're going to have people insulting her, acting like it's new, because some fans will not know that video is a very old video. And it's going to turn into something else. And then when the truth comes out, it's like, oh, you did this, you did that. You guys have started. And I'm seeing the pattern. You guys never learn anything. Those empty skulls of y'all. You guys be eating your brains. That's why it goes and you have it on your jaw. You'll be eating your brains. No sense whatsoever. You guys are grown. Grown men, 30 to 40-year-old men acting like fools on the internet. I guess we're all looking for this money, right? So we excuse the foolery that comes with it. It's up to you, DDG. You have to call your friends in order. Halle, you have to call your people to order and solve your situation outside of the internet. Otherwise, it's going to get worse than it is already. You guys already have a restraining order temporarily for each other. After this restraining order, get together and do co-parenting. And DDG, honestly, you have not shown anything that gives you that permission or whatever. And if they can prove that this was postpartum, I don't think you're going to get the custody of the child if you're trying to get custody of the child. So your best bet is co-parenting. Have co-custody where you guys agree on how to move with it, and that would be your best bet. But the text there can also show that you really didn't care about the child. So it will be so I don't know the judge that would want to leave the child with you solely. So let's be watchful. And even with you, Halle, like, you've shown that you could be depressed or whatever. Like the fact that out of jealousy you were talking about killing yourself. Like you wanted to kill yourself while your child was alive. Who's going to take care of that child? That's why I don't like when people are just young and impressionable. Like they just do anything for clap. I don't like that. I don't like that. I just don't like it. You guys just do anything and rumble and do whatever you like. So go back, get your act together, and I don't want to see more foolishness on the internet concerning this case. That's all. I don't want to see more foolishness. And that's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, peace. All right. If you guys like this video, I want you guys to click like and subscribe, share it. Don't screenshot it. Please share it. Let your friends know. Tell your people about it. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. You can leave your comments, whatever your opinions are, whatever. Like, don't be afraid to say it, but please be careful with the kind of things that you comment. All right. Let's talk like mature people, please. And yeah,